She hadn't spoken a single word since birth. Doctors said she could hear, they said her voice was perfectly fine, but for some unknown reason, the little girl never let out more than whispers or cries. For years, her father, a powerful CEO who had built empires out of nothing, felt powerless when it came to his only daughter. He could command thousands of employees, make deals that shaped industries, but he couldn't hear the one thing he longed for most, his child calling him daddy. And on that day at the playground, when everything seemed so ordinary, life was about to change forever in a way he never imagined. Stay with me until the end of this story, because what happens will remind you of the hidden power of kindness and love. And if you're new here, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel Kindness Stories, where every story touches the heart and reminds us of the goodness still left in this world. The CEO, Daniel Carter, was not a man who smiled often. People around him described him as brilliant, driven, and sometimes cold. He had everything: wealth, respect, luxury cars, a mansion, but when he was alone, none of it mattered. Because every evening, he would sit in silence with his 5-year-old daughter, Lily, who would look at him with bright eyes but never speak. He would read her bedtime stories, sing softly, even make funny faces just to hear a giggle, but her lips stayed pressed, her voice locked away. Doctors called it selective mutism, some said it was trauma from losing her mother during childbirth, but no one could explain why Lily refused to speak. And so Daniel's heart carried a weight he couldn't share with anyone. One Saturday, Daniel decided to take Lily to the neighborhood playground. Normally, he avoided places like that. Too many curious eyes, too many whispers about the CEO with the mute daughter. But that day, something tugged at his heart. He wanted Lily to see other children laughing, running, playing. Maybe, just maybe, it would open a door inside her. Lily held his hand tightly as they walked in. She always hid behind him when kids ran past, her little fingers clutching his suit jacket like it was her only shield. Daniel sat on a bench, feeling out of place in his expensive clothes among the casual parents in jeans and t-shirts. He watched Lily wander slowly to the swings, sitting alone, her eyes following other kids but never joining them. And his chest ached again with that same old question, will she ever live a normal life? Then, something unexpected happened. A man about Daniel's age walked up with a boy, around Lily's age. The man wasn't dressed in fancy clothes, just a plain hoodie and worn-out sneakers, but he carried himself with warmth. He noticed Lily sitting alone and gave her a gentle smile before guiding his son toward the swings. Daniel tried to avoid eye contact, but the man walked over and said, "Beautiful day, isn't it? I'm Mark." Daniel gave a polite nod, the kind CEOs give when they don't want to engage. But Mark didn't seem intimidated. His son, Ben, ran over to Lily and asked if she wanted to play. Lily looked down, gripping the swing chains tighter, and said nothing. Daniel was about to step in and explain, but Mark placed a hand on his shoulder. "It's okay. Let them try." Daniel was skeptical. Children had approached Lily before, but she always turned away. Yet Ben didn't give up. He sat on the swing next to hers and started talking about the clouds, pointing out shapes, laughing at his own silly ideas. "That one looks like a dragon. And that one looks like pizza." He giggled. Lily glanced at him, her lips twitching as if a smile wanted to escape. Daniel's breath caught. Was she smiling? It had been months since he'd seen even that. Mark leaned closer and said softly, "Ben's a chatterbox. But sometimes chatter breaks silence in ways adults never can." As minutes passed, something incredible happened. Ben asked Lily what she thought the clouds looked like. For the first time, she turned her head, opened her mouth, and whispered, "A bunny." Daniel froze. His heart stopped. His eyes widened, and he couldn't believe what he just heard. That single word, so soft, so fragile, was more precious than every deal he had ever closed, every success he had ever achieved. Tears filled his eyes before he could stop them. Mark's smile grew wider as if he had seen this before. "There it is," he whispered. Lily, encouraged by Ben's laugh, said another word. "Flower." Then another bird. Her voice trembled, but each sound was like a miracle. Daniel fell to his knees in front of her, his hands shaking as he cupped her tiny face. "Lily, sweetheart, you spoke." His voice cracked, and for the first time in years, the CEO, the man who never showed weakness, let his tears flow freely in front of strangers. Mark placed a hand on Daniel's shoulder. "Sometimes, kids just need another kid who makes them feel safe. I'm a single dad, too. Trust me, I know." Daniel looked at him with gratitude so deep it couldn't be put into words. He had spent millions on specialists, therapists, and private programs, yet here, in the simplicity of a playground, a single father and his little boy had unlocked the miracle he had prayed for. From that day on, Daniel and Mark became close friends. Their children played together often, and Lily's voice grew stronger with each visit. She still didn't talk to everyone, but with Ben, she was free, laughing, telling stories, naming shapes in the clouds. For Daniel, it was a humbling lesson. All his power, all his wealth, couldn't heal his daughter. But kindness, patience, and the bond of two children could. And maybe, just maybe, it was also fate that a lonely CEO and a single dad, both carrying their own struggles, met on that playground to help each other's hearts heal. So the next time you see someone struggling, remember this story. Sometimes the smallest act, a smile, a conversation, an invitation to play, can unlock something life-changing. Because kindness doesn't just heal others. It heals us, too.